Hello everybody and welcome to our breakdown of ml7, a high tier Ana player on the Overwatch ladder. If you're interested in more educational Overwatch stuff, make sure to join our Discord. We got plenty of good things in there for you to get better at playing the game. Thrill! I didn't want Thrill to gift any subs. I was just saying if somebody wanted to sub. God dang it. Thrill, thanks for another 2 gifted subs, man. To Darkness and Susie. Guys, enjoy your gifted subs. Thank you, Thrill. Thrill's going nuts. He's actually got 18 gifted subs this month. Yo, can we get some love in the chat for Thrill, man? Bruh. Thank you, Thrill. Thank you. I knew when I said that, I was like, I don't want Thrill to gift because I don't want him to feel like I'm baiting him out to give subs. Okay, so this is like the default. Like, at least for where I see most Ana players play, is like this area right here. Definitely, 100%. They kind of start here mainly because they have options to go to point if they need to rotate or go to the mini over here. That's basically it. Or back up if they need to, but I don't really see. If you back up, it's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to rotate back in your team. So like for Ana players on Hanamura, this is, if you ever watch me play, I usually sit here when I start just because it gives me more options. It's harder for dives to engage on you. You can see more. As you get sleep. Okay, as you can see, not as much bunny hopping as we're used to. He does bunny hop a little bit though. We do go down. So we got dove pretty hard here. He kind of, I'll say this, the rotation was kind of weird. Oh, I should use the backup thing. Never mind. We're just gonna have to kind of do this. Let's watch this one more time. Let's watch how he rotates with his team. So we start back a little bit, right back here. Okay. And as they push in, get the sleep. And this is where I think we get dove here, boop down, and then we try to rotate back. And we're zoned out by the Lucio, so we're forced to go back this way. Then the ball pushes him here. So he essentially gets funneled back into this unfavorable rotation here through the choke, which is an easy target for him to go down to. So you can see we're playing in this choke. Do you see how safe he's playing right now? Like look how he's not touching the point. He's not going to the point at all. His job is to sustain anybody who's trying to go to the point. So he's not committing too much up there. He goes for the sleep, plays back here around the corner, never drops to point. Never. See? Never, unless he absolutely has to. So he's always playing this, and we're gonna pause this real quick. So the way, let's watch this. Let me see if he goes. Hold on. Okay. So let's take a look right here. So he's either playing in this room right here, and then if somebody pushes him, he goes back into spawn. Like literally, he doesn't try to engage him right there. What's up, Mushu? May I tell you a story? Go for it. Yeah, on the right side, or he plays in the choke coming out this side, or he plays behind these walls. And he rarely ever peeks these openings. Okay? Except unless he needs to heal somebody out here, but he kind of positions himself so he can heal the people that are playing over here still, the people that are playing here, and the people that are playing here. So he can still be behind cover, heal his team from here without exposing himself to getting shot from the people on main. And he never goes onto the point. And that's what I see a lot of players do, is actually go onto the point. When that's not what their job is until like the very last second. Until this right here. Until this has capped here, and then it's just about to cap, and like you're trying to stall it out so somebody else can get on. That right here is when you get on as a support player. Like that's when you go on. That's when you're like, okay, I'll stall it out till our ball gets back, you know. And then we're going to start the staggering process to try to stall us out as much as possible and try to get a regroup. So, and that's kind of the thing. Like, see how they actually go back into the spawn here. And I see a lot of players afraid to actually kite back into spawn. Oh, they're playing against Beaver too. Dink, Beaver. Yeah, he plays extremely safe here. He kites back into the spawn when he gets dove. So he can stay alive, doesn't have to worry about getting a respawn timer, and pulls the people diving him away from the point, so the people engaging on point get a chance to kill whoever's on there. So can't handle ml7's gameplay. He just thinks so fast that I get lost halfway through. He's actually, you know, surprisingly, like I want you guys to look at this, and if you ever want to, take your gameplay and ml7's gameplay and compare them side to side. Like if you have 2 monitors, play them at the same time. And notice how much more hectic your gameplay is compared to ml7's. Playing extremely safe. This right here on second point, where he's holding right now, is definitely like the Ana default position here. Because it's very hard to engage on the Ana. Because let's pause it real quick. It's very hard to engage on an Ana because you have this pillar over here that I'm pointing to. It's not on the screen. Blocking the main doorway. You have the wall in the corner that you're standing next to before we dropped on a point here. And you're able to kite back into spawn. Now, even here, I don't really know why he dropped on a point. Like, he didn't... ml7 didn't need to do this. Like, going out here accomplished nothing for him. So, and that's kind of my point. There's not really... There's not an attention, so that's kind of like a bad habit for support players to do. Like, you have people on here contesting the point, and, like, all you have to do is chill here and shoot him. And, like, force Craigie here to come and push you, and then you push back into spawn and have all your stuff ready to go for when that happens. So when you push up that far, see, you have this much longer like route to get back to spawn to sustain yourself. So it's like this should be where he is the entire time. Cool. Yeah, this is like an honest like safety place, which is good. You know, you wanna be safe. You wanna maximize the amount of healing that you do in a game. And a lot of times it's just how you like where you stand as an Ana player. Like, if we look at this right now, if we look at this second point, if you've noticed, this is literally where he spent the entire time. He touched point for a second, but quickly went back. This is where he spent the entire match on second point, even on dive comp. In here, and then in that back room over here, and then a little bit in the spawn over here. And, like, he has spent more than the majority of the time over here in this spot. And again, he hasn't been moving around that much. He doesn't need to go anywhere. His team's playing up here or down here. And I know in lower tiers, like, your team's kind of gonna go wherever. So it doesn't mean like you get to do this all the time in lower tiers. So I get that. But if your team's playing top, if your team is playing on the catwalk, if your team's playing point, this is where you need to be. If your team's pushing down, then you want to be positioned up here with them if they're planning on pushing out. But most of the time, the fights happen up here or on point. So that's like where you should assume that you're going to be, unless there's like a specific situation. What's up, Snickerdoodle? Welcome back, man. Okay, we'll see how we use the nano. Use the nano on Kabaji to sustain him on point. I think he might have went for the monkey, though. But he is duoed with Kabaji, I believe, so. Yeah, he's duoed. So he's probably just pocketing the crap out of him.
You know what I dream of? Playing one day on low ping on NA. That's what I want to dream of.
Yeah, he's playing, look at this. Look at this. He's playing 150 milliseconds on NA right now.
This is left side mini. This is left side mini. On the ball.
So we push out a little bit here to try to get an angle and then immediately go back. Immediately go back. Waste our nade, so we have to go back to spawn. And that was a big old oopsie, right? Okay. Okay. Oh, so we tried to nade the Lucio on the way up, but here's the big problem. I don't think he noticed how little health he had here. Because even if he naded that Lucio, he would be able to push in and kill him anyways. This is where like being aware of how much health you have is really important. So it's not a surprise. Like we try to get back into the spawn and then the Lucio comes in and triple dinks us. So I think he noticed that when he did it. But again, like obviously people make mistakes, and I just want you guys to see like why that got punished. Now I wouldn't say punished because the Lucio probably didn't even notice anything about it, especially probably being a master Lucio. Probably didn't notice anything about it. But that's kind of the breakdown of like when you waste your nade like that, you like sacrificing yourself to nade an enemy usually isn't worth it unless it's like unless you're sacrificing to nade like 3 people. So now we're going Moira. You can see like already like this, and this is where a lot of players struggle with like knowing what heroes they play and where they need to position. Like instantly, he swapped to a Moira, and where he positioned in the map changed like dramatically. Right, became a lot more closer, a lot more brawly, a lot more And that's why Moira does well usually in brawl comps. And you don't see her played more in dive comps. So we're kind of playing. Because we went pretty quick on the point here. But we're gonna be playing a lot more on the point, a lot more around our tanks. Is Moira. So you can see we're actually pushing up out into here a little bit, following our tanks on the catwalk, instead of playing back safe where the Ana can have good sight lines. Because sight lines aren't really important to your team as Moira, as long as you have just our next one. But it's a lot more spam healing, kind of like this stuff. But again, kiting the tanks, like keeping a safe distance, right? Knowing the distance for the Moira heals to your tanks, and like keeping that distance between you guys, so when your tanks get engaged on, you don't get engaged on as well. So you can see this is a lot more, I wouldn't say chaotic gameplay, but it's a lot more 360 gameplay. You need to actively practice this. You feel like 90% of your mistakes are sheer positioning. I mean, that's what most of Ana is. Ana's positioning and management of cooldowns, definitely. And like obviously aim as well. If you can land all your shots, it's great. But like your ability to survive is based 100% on your positioning, definitely. All right. How safe is ml7 playing right now? Is he peeking the choke ever to engage anybody in the choke? No, he is playing. I'm gonna back it up even more here too, because I really want to take a look at how he moves up to here. So let's see. So we peek the choke just to scout a little bit. We're seeing if there's any flankers around. Okay, healing up Kabaji back. Still chilling here. But again, this right here, and this is where it looks like we're going to be hanging out most of the time, is against this wall. Not really peeking the choke, so we're not taking any damage from any of these angles. We're not really even peeking it, because we're not trying to nade anybody. We're just trying to support our team through the choke without taking damage ourselves. Because we don't want to have to use nade on ourselves, when we could be using it on our team or on the enemy team as well. When the push starts. Good job taking care. Like that's what we're doing. Is basically just scouting these opportunities. Then we peek the choke for a second just because we're behind the van, and the ball engages on us. Then we have the opportunity, and then we go in, having the nade ready to go. Tempted sleep, pushing to the point, trying to rotate with the team here. And then this is where it gets kind of dicey. It's where it gets kind of dicey because what ml7 is doing right here is pushing to the point with their dive team, which is fine. They're going to be engaging back here, and he probably needs to heal him anyways. But pushing up to the point obviously is risky sometimes, as well as staying back at the choke. But all their dive heroes, I believe, are dead right now. So like him playing right here on point. Let's talk about this. All right. So first off, he chooses to play on point, and then he chooses to play here. In this little corner, I'm gonna mark it right here so you guys can see it. Like I'll actually make so here's the room, so we can take a look at it. No, I'm gonna do it better. This. All right, and here's the bell in the middle. All right, he chooses to post up right here. Now the question is, why does he choose to post up right here? Because the two places that the enemy are gonna engage from are here and here. Okay. And they're trying to hold him off it here. Now, this is a double-edged sword, because if they push into point, he's going to get rotated on very quickly. If he posts up back here, he can heal his team without worrying about getting rotated, but he's at risk for these sight lines to get shot at when he comes in. Okay. Somewhere, I honestly would have recommended posting up, if he's going to pick a corner to play in on this point, either here or even back here. Like this, I think this is very risky. Like playing there is very risky. Because you're safe from fire, but if they push in, you're just going to be out of position when they push in. So I don't know why he didn't just post up over here. It's not like he's getting actively engaged. You can post up right here. You can use walls to cover cross angles. You can peek your team, and you can throw nades. So I actually see a lot of support players back here. I definitely recommend playing here and not here. This is a weird spot to play in, just because that if the team actually pushes in, he's kind of screwed. But they kind of win in it. I mean, they obviously win it anyways. So, just so you guys are aware, though, if you're going to be posting up on point as Ana, don't do that, most likely.
I'm going main. I can see you, main.
Okay, and this is great. So, obviously, Ana players, usually, if you play Ana, you probably know to position back here and here, as long as your team is actively engaging on point and you're not getting pressured by any dive heroes. But again, let's watch how safe ml7 plays here. And also how calm he is when he plays this. He does stay scoped in for a little while. Pulse comes out, tries to get the nade. Does get the nade off on somebody though. And I think that was the big thing, is that so we noticed that he does like 3 shots. He goes 1, 2, 3, and then he unscopes. And that's what we talked about that with Sauce, is like, you as Ana, you don't want to be scoped in for 2 shots, and that's it. It's like you get 1 shot, 2 shot, and then you have to unscope and move. Mainly because if you do 3, it's like, and again, you can do 3. I don't see any problem with that. But it's like opening. The longer you keep shooting scoped in, the more of a target you become for dive heroes. Like when they see that very static target, they're just like chomping at the bit to get like a pulse bomb on you or try to set up a one clip. So like I wasn't surprised when we like stayed scoped in for that long that they saw an opportunity for the pulse. The Mercy now. Yo. And I think it's just purely because Kabaji's running the Ashe. So we're just damage boosting. Look at that blue beam. Then sustaining with the heal when he takes damage, then back to blue beam. Look at how much he's pocketing Kabaji though. This is great right here. Just hard pocketing, sustaining one their biggest damage dealer. That's a good point for Mercy mains. Again, even ml7 does it. We're seeing it right now. We are hard pocketing one hero, one person, their biggest damage dealer, and that is it.
Get a tagger main if you can.
Valk at the beginning of the engagement, back to pocketing Kabaji for a little bit, but gonna go back to sustain the rest of the team with the Valk till the end of it, and now we're gonna heal up our off healer and then go back to Kabaji with the damage boost. Okay, so this just started. We're on Lijiang Tower playing Moira, which is a good choice too. Let's talk about why you play. Let's talk about why you can play Moira on this map. Mainly because as Ana. Okay, it's very hard to be effective with Ana on this map because there's not really any good places to position yourself to be effective with your team. The only time you really can is if your team is pushing right, and that's usually when you're playing a brawl comp where you can position in the white room on the right side of point over here as your team pushes up into point. That's probably the only time that you're gonna play Ana is if your team is pushing right every time. Outside of that, Moira is great because you need to play closer. You have more survivability if you go closer in the fight, which means if your team's taking the fight in courtyard, you most likely want to play Moira because you can actually survive there. As Ana, you're forced to push up to the bridge right here and try to heal your team, which just like opens you up to literally everything. Like it's so easy to engage. There's not much distance between you and the courtyard. You have Pharah barraging you. Like this is just not safe. So this is probably why he's playing Moira here. So he doesn't have to worry about that when he pushes up into courtyard here. Because they're playing a dive comp, most likely they're going to go through courtyard. When if you're playing more of a brawl comp, usually you go through white room on the other side of this point here. Again, playing very safe. Looking for cover, not spending too much time in the open, always rounding these corners here, playing it very safe against the walls.
Yeah, we need to dive Diana.
And that was just a little bit later response to distance. So on gardens, it's a lot safer. I see a lot of people do this, and I still don't know why they do this. So here's gardens, the center point, so the capture point on this map right here. So it's like a little hexagon with a little circle and two little walls in here. It kind of looks like a Pokeball. Okay. And here's the entrances to the point. I see a lot of people like play here. Like they play in the open, and like this is also playing in the open here. If you play here and kind of rotate like this around, like that's still playing in the open. But a great way to do it is literally rotate around as close as possible in here. Because like you can cut off so many sight lines very quickly just by rounding around this thing. Like literally hugging this, like you know, just like going around it in a circle if you need to. So it's like if you play here and are peeked by somebody, all you have to do is do this to get out of their sight line. When what ml7 is doing here, oh no, can I go back? Yay, okay. He's playing here and hugging the wall, so he's not taking damage from the Pharah, but this is opening him up to this sight line, this one, as he approaches here. So it's not really surprising that Hog was just like, oh, hey, it's a Moira, yoink, and then just pulls him in. When that wouldn't be the case, like you can still be safe and keep rounding that corner in the middle by dodging the Pharah and then going and then seeing the Hog and then rotating back to avoid the hook, and then Pharah going for you again and then rotating back after the Hog doesn't have hook. And that's just going to be a safer way to play. So like honestly in gardens, like if you're going to position anywhere, position around that center pole. Like if you're a static hero or a hero that has to play on the ground, like this is your best friend. Like hugging this always. So easy to block stuff with them. for like top 500 slash GM, like that's what I would expect. But it is on a positioning is like always correct. So I'm kind of excited. And then here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Look. What are we noticing right now, guys? Hey, Kabuki, what's up? What are we noticing right now? What he's playing Ana, and what's happening? Yeah, they went White Room, right? So this is why he swapped to Ana, because now they're going to be pushing White Room. He knows that Ana's going to be more effective in White Room. This is exactly what we were talking about earlier. This is why I'm saying, like, again, just understanding the map and how you're going to play what is very important. So, and now, instead of playing stack with our tanks, just like I said earlier, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not like a genius at this stuff. I'm saying that there's a reason we do, like, certain players do this thing. All right, I'm taking a horizontal approach. So this is courtyard. Ready? This is courtyard. This is point. Okay, this is point over here. This is the entrance, and this is White Room. Okay. Here's the side entrances. Whatever. So here's the final point. He's positioning it right here at the choke. And he's gonna be posting up right here. And this is it. Like this is the team's playing here. They're probably gonna want to play on their side of the point. Okay. So he just has sightlines the entire time. This is, again, I see Ana players that will push into the point, like, with their tanks. And it's like, why? If you're not actively getting pressured by a flank or anything, just post up here and just, like, literally pocket your tanks. It's going to be so much easier. Slow down your game if you need to. I mean, if you can, like, especially on these maps, like, just chill. Like, he's just going to play White Room. Like, yeah, that's it. He has plenty of cover, plenty. Now he rotates to point. Mainly because there were... And here's... Let me see here. Let's back it up. Because, again, this comes down to... Because you could hold White Room all day. And then you could be like, well, Spooky told me to hold White Room. This is what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to, like, narrow down what you do as a player. You want to think about why you're doing what you're doing. So, like, he's holding here because he's not being actively pressured by any dive. Did I back this up right? Okay. He's holding here because he's not being actively pressured. Now, okay, now this is what we're seeing. We're seeing that they have two dive heroes over here. There's an Ana up here. These people are starting to push this way. Okay, which means he's going to get actively pressured by dive, which means he will have to rotate back to the other side of point to play courtyard. Okay, he sees that pressure coming. He sees the ball ready to engage. He tries to rotate, rotates a little bit too late, and then gets punished for it. That's what we kind of mean, like, yeah. It's like, there's not like a specific way to play maps. You just have to think. You have to think. You have to constantly ask yourself why and where and what's best for me here. Okay, playing real safe around these corners here. Not pushing out too much. This is kind of weird that he's pushing out in the open here. Doesn't really need this angle. Yeah, it's a big sleep. Yeah, I'm not so hip on him pushing out in the middle there. Like, again, so I'm saying, like, we'll make mistakes like this. Okay, I'm gonna draw the point again. Here's the point, and I'm gonna put in yellow. Here's White Room. Here's the side entrance. Here's steps going up to White Room, and here's the wall, and here's the tunnel. Okay, before we get in there. Hopefully everybody understands this map. Okay, so like running up steps, going to White Room right now. Like he pushes in the middle. Ah, fudge. He literally goes out in the middle of the opening here and plays right here when he doesn't need to. That's what I mean. Like, you don't need to do stuff like this. Like, you can still... He still had sightlines on the hog right here. He still had sightlines on the people he's trying to heal, but he pushes out into here, takes damage from the tracer, seeing that they're in the open. Farrah just gets an easy hit while they're trying to rotate back to the corner. And it's like that. Those kind of decisions, like, will cost you your life. You know, at least at this rank, that'll get punished really quickly. So I wasn't really... I didn't really know what he was trying to do by pushing out into the open there. But it's hard. It's hard to, like, really figure this stuff out while like in the moment. And I agree. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm gonna play Ana better than ml7. But it's like, if you don't think of, try to like look at this stuff and think about it, you won't notice that you're making these mistakes and that they're getting punished, and then so next time you think about it, you know. Like, I'm pretty convinced that he would have survived at least a little bit longer, or he would have forced somebody else to pressure him even more to kill him, if he didn't push out for that 1 second into the middle of that opening. Okay, so let's see how he's gonna change his positioning, definitely based on the tanks they're playing. The Orisa Hog he's gonna stack more on, mainly because they have the shield to work with now. And he almost has to play like a Moira a little bit more than an Ana here. You see, he's gonna be always trying to be somewhat near the Orisa, right? Gameplay changes a little bit. The dive, he has to be a little bit more 360, a lot more hip fire here now. Mainly because in this composition, I mean, unless you're playing for something specific, Ana's just not that great of a healer for this. You know, see how this gameplay is a lot more chaotic now? And I think it's because their team swapped. Their team needed to change. And it's a lot harder for ml7 to position with that because he does have to play closer to the tanks. Which essentially you're now you're playing a distance healer. Hold on. You're playing a distance healer. Okay, but you're playing it stacked on your tanks. Okay? Mainly because, again, you have to. You can't position like that as Ana when you guys are running a stack composition where your tanks are like that. You're just a free target. You're not going to have any peel. Like, you're not going to have a Winston or a D.Va be able to fly back to peel for you when that stuff happens. It's a bunker comp. You have to play stacked on that Orisa Hog, which essentially means you're playing Ana, a distance healer, very close to your targets, which doesn't make any sense unless you're playing for the Nano, but they didn't have anything for the Nano. So it's like definitely 100% Moira would have been the pick there. Or if, I don't know if Baptiste was open here, maybe. Yeah, or even, yeah, the Lucio. Yeah, or even Brig, honestly. Yeah, Ana's just not the pick. For the most part with bunker. I know somebody's probably gonna be like, no, but Ana's good with Nano, the Hog, and the blue. No, she's just a worse Moira at that point. As far as like output healing, like it's gonna be a lot harder. You're gonna be dealing a lot more flak. This random damage that's being spewed at your two tanks, your bunker tanks. It's just gonna make life harder. Like in a perfect world, like if you're not getting pressured as Ana when you're stacked on your Orisa Hog, then like great, that's fine. But in reality, you're gonna constantly get pressured, because that you're being where all the fire is, and it's just gonna be harder. So that's kind of like I think he swapped it and they swapped, and he didn't really feel like getting off Ana, which again is understandable because we're already playing Ana and they didn't communicate it, and he's chilling there. So like that stuff happens in games all the time. I just want you guys to be aware of why that's a lot harder and why his gameplay looked a lot more chaotic when they swapped to the bunker comp. Again, just so you're aware that like in a perfect world, Ana can chill in one spot and heal everybody from one post without being pressured. And the closer you can get to that, the better. And if that's not a reality, you need to start considering other heroes to play in that game or in that situation. Thanks for watching. I hope you stop by our Twitch channel. We're live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday at around 7 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to stop by and ask any questions that you like.